U.S. border officials are currently dealing with a massive influx of migrants, including families and unaccompanied minors, attempting to cross the southern border. Over 100,000 people were apprehended at the border last month. 9,457 of them were unaccompanied minors.
The numbers that we are seeing could be the greatest if, in fact, they materialize as they are trending. It could be the largest numbers we have seen in 20 years.
According to recent reports, the number of unaccompanied children in federal custody at the border has reached more than 5,000. That's almost double the previous record. And more than 600 of those kids had reportedly been in custody for longer than 10 days. That's well over the 72-hour limit before unaccompanied children are supposed to be turned over to the Department of Health and Human Services. Under federal law, unaccompanied migrant children must be placed in an appropriate child care facility to be properly cared for until they can be safely released to a parent or sponsor. Over the last few years, reports of abuse, threats, and even several deaths of children in custody have provided stark evidence of the risk that kids face when they're held for long periods of time in Border Patrol facilities, which are really designed for adults. But over the last year, COVID-19 protocols significantly reduced capacity at shelters designed to house migrant children, and the Biden administration apparently failed to prepare for this anticipated housing shortage. Now, the Biden administration is scrambling to find enough space to safely house the growing number of migrant children in its custody. No, the border is not open. The majority of migrants arriving at the southern border right now are being turned away, besides unaccompanied minors and a very limited number of families. For the past several years, before Biden was even president, Central American migrants from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador have been fleeing their homes because of unrelenting violence, corruption, and extreme poverty. Those conditions have only deteriorated thanks to things like the coronavirus pandemic and devastating hurricanes. When Biden took office, his administration pledged to replace the harsh immigration policies of the Trump era. At a press briefing earlier this month, Biden's coordinator for the southern border acknowledged how the administration's policies may be encouraging migrants to travel to the U.S., even as officials like herself insist that they should stay home.
Neither this announcement nor any of the other measures suggest that anyone, especially children and families with young children, should make the dangerous trip to try and enter the U.S. in an irregular fashion. The border is not open.
Last month, the Biden administration reopened an emergency influx shelter for migrant teens in Texas and is currently working on opening at least 3 more. One of them includes the Dallas Convention Center that is reportedly being converted to house up to 3,000 teenage boys. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has also enlisted FEMA, as well as volunteers from other agencies within DHS, to help address the overwhelming situation at the border. U.S. officials have also been working with the Mexican government, which recently agreed to step up efforts to help contain the flow of illegal immigration to the United States, including restricting travel along its southern border with Guatemala and accepting more Central American families being turned away by the U.S. Bottom line, the struggle to safely house the volume of unaccompanied kids arriving at the border continues to present immense challenges for the Biden administration.